Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. Today's Sunday. It's past 6 p.m. and we're at a party because it's Sunday night. And how are we going to party? By doing velocity banking on a spreadsheet. So get out your laptops, get out your computers, get out your spreadsheets, and we're going to go ahead and attack some debt. And one day, I don't know when, maybe in the near future, I might actually rent a room. We bring all our laptops and sleeping bags and do this all night. No, probably not. I'm a little bit too lazy for that. But I'm wondering if I actually charge like $10,000 a night, if there actually would be people who do it. That'd be crazy, right? But luckily, we're just going to do that for free here. Okay, so what is velocity banking? Let's start off with that. All it is a strategy to pay off debts quickly using lines of credit as the main tool, right? And there's only two things that we need to do velocity banking. I've written that right here. We need a budget, so I've kind of done that here. And then we need a line of credit as a main operating account. Now, if you take a look at this, we actually have a home equity line of credit. But is having a home equity line of credit doing velocity banking? No, 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 it's not. It's having your home equity line of credit or just a line of credit in general as your main operating account. And all a line of credit is a financial tool where you can borrow money, pay it back, and use it over and over again. So we did 1/2 the budget. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do the velocity banking side of the budget. And what's the difference between velocity banking and the average American? The average American pays things out of a checking account. Velocity banking, it's all done from the line of credit. That's the only difference. Now here, we have a HELOC, okay, at 30K at 10%. So let's go ahead and highlight that and say, hey, that's our main velocity banking account, okay? So what we're going to do is just put this in a separate section, and we'll say that it has a $35,000 limit, right? So right now it has a $30,000 balance, okay? And 30,000, and what we're going to do, I'm sorry, $30,000 balance and a $35,000 limit. And so what we got to do is just kind of free up some cash flow. And the strategy for velocity banking is you put your entire paycheck into that line of credit. And actually, let me do this. I'm sorry. You put your entire paycheck into the line of credit. You take out your expenses, this part from here, and then your cash flow will be used to pay down that line of credit. Okay? And here's a funny thing. This is the thing that people are most afraid of. Your checking and savings is gonna go to zero. Okay? Because we're using the power of our entire cash flow to bring that down, right? And a lot of people freak out about this is $0 checking savings, but if you ever look inside my bank accounts, I don't have anything in my checking and savings because my savings account is essentially my HELOC or my credit cards, right? So this is what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and just do some calculations. And here's the thing: when we use anything as our main operating account, guess what? This payment just goes to zero, right? And we just increased our cash flow. You see how that number increased? Because when we put our entire paycheck into that line of credit, we do two things. We satisfy the minimum monthly payment and we minimize the interest because the interest is calculated by the average daily balance. Oh my goodness, right? So now what we're going to do is let's just do some formulas. And actually, let's do this. We see that there's a $35,000 limit and a $30,000 balance. So what we can do is see if we can move some of these debts to free up more cash flow. And look at this. We have a credit card too at $5,000. Why don't we just move that to the HELOC? Okay. So let's go ahead and do that and do $35,000. Okay. So we move this $5,000. And then guess what happens? Oh my goodness. We freed up more cash flow, 1250. Okay. So what we can do, right? So let's just do some formulas, and I do the same formulas every single time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the previous month's balance and minus our cash flow. And actually, let's add the interest too. We'll just assume first month we have the interest there from when we're using it. But I2 minus, what's our cash flow? It is 1250 right now. You see this 1250 right there? That's what it is. Okay. All right. So now we need to calculate the average daily balance. So I don't know if you ever know this average function right here, but you just take these two cells, get the average, just assume it's the average daily balance, even though it's not technically correct. Multiply it by the interest rate, so 10%, 0.1, you see this 10% right here, and then you divide by 12, okay? Divided by 12. And then what you do, you take, we're going to make a formula out of the months, so you just put the previous month's 1 plus 1, and then what we're going to do, right, is we're just going to keep paying off our debt. Put your entire paycheck in, expenses out, we're going to, and then the balance will lower, and so will the interest, and See that, right? So here's the thing, and I'm just doing this just to simplify this. In real life, right, if I have a 27% credit card, I just be transferring debt to this thing to almost the brim. That's just me. You may not want to do that, but because this is a 10% interest line of credit and a 27% interest credit card, I would just be moving everything from the high interest to the low interest and keeping this HELOC as full as much as possible till this goes down to zero, right? But I'm just doing a one-time transfer just to make the demonstration a little bit easier. But it depends on all what you want to do. Maybe you do want to leave some space because you don't want to go over a certain limit HELOC because some people are afraid to go over 90% of the HELOC limit. But let's just go here. So maybe we can do this. So at month 14, what is the limit of the credit? So we can go up to put 15K here. And let's just kind of do this. Month 17, right? We have 17,000. So I actually kind of pre-put this. $20,000 balance, 27% interest rate. And I think, let me see if I copied it correctly. Right? And at month 17, or month 14 actually, let's take a look at 14. What's the balance? Yeah, 14, 17K. Okay? So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, 17K. So let me just re-put this so we can figure out what our actual payment. Actually, we have our payment right here. And here's the thing about what makes the calculating the cash flow tricky with credit cards. Every single payment that you make changes the payment, right? Unlike an amortized loan. So when you have an amortized loan, if the initial first payment is like $100, it's going to be $100 for the rest of the loan's life. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now we have $570.39, and that's our current payment right now. But what are we going to do? So let's go down here, and we're going to move. Let's see if we can move 15,000. Okay, so plus 15,000. Is that too much? Yeah, we got it $500, a little bit too much. I'll just do this. Let's just do it that after one more time. So that means 15,000, right? So 34,000, and if it's 15, so actually let me just do this. So this is the true number because we did one more payment, right? And then if it's minus 15, then this will become 2201.17, right? And now what we got to do is find that minimum monthly payment at this point. Hopefully I'm not going too fast, but as you can see, the minimum payment is $71.54, right? So now we just put $71.54 right here, right? And then we just keep going essentially, and with our new cash flow. And what's our new cash flow right now? Let's take a look. 1828.46, not bad, right? 1828.46. So 18. Right, so we always have to modify 1828.46. Okay, and how much do we have to actually move? So 2,201.17 cents. Can we move that? Let's take a look if this will fit. Yeah, I think it will. Oh my goodness. Oh, am I copying pasting it wrong? Oopsie. Oh, I'm going all over the place. Sorry, guys. All right, so 2201.17. Okay. So let me go ahead and copy that. Okay. So, well, let's just do one more. 2207. Ah, I'm screwing up today. Maybe it's because I'm in party mode. You know, I'm so excited to do the Velocity Banking party. that I'm just making mistakes of copying and pasting. Someone needs to give me like one of those, what do you call it? Those healthy fat drinks, because I don't like to drink. I don't drink alcohol or anything like that. But okay, so we got that covered. So we moved this $2,201.17. All right, and then guess what? This payment's completely eliminated. And then what's our new cash flow? 1,900. Oh my goodness, 1,900. All right, so now we just kind of keep going until this sucker goes to zero. Right, so let's go ahead and put in that 1,900 as our new cash flow, and move that, and then copy and paste until we see red. Or not red, maybe a minus sign. It depends on the format of my Excel sheet. Sometimes I open up the wrong one with the wrong formatting, but as long as you see this minus here, that's the sign that we got to work on the next debt to pay off. And so at 37 months, we've paid off this debt. Okay, so let's go ahead and highlight this. And let's also put in this as a milestone, right? So what are some milestones that we have? First milestone is that we paid off these 2 credit cards and the entire HELOC. So it's 55K of debt in how many months? 37 months. About. Might even be quicker. All right, so 37 months. All right, cool. So now we did that with credit card 2 and the HELOC itself, right? Because usually when we have a line of credit, and with a lot of examples, we just assume that the line of credit is brand new. But if you're in debt, you're probably using that incorrectly as the average American, where you're just paying off your checking account using Velocity Banking. Now what we have to do is we're going to pay off this auto loan, right? So what we're going to do is figure out what's the balance of the auto loan at this time after 37 months. It probably significantly shrunk after 37 months, or it might be even completely paid off. Let's take a look. So I'll just say calculator, amortization, loan, and then there's a website for that. And I think you have to do a little bit of test with the original balances. So you kind of figure out if you're doing an amortized loan. I think it's 21,500. Let me just check. 415. So the original balance is probably 2,600. You just have to kind of do some tests to figure out what the original loan balance was and the monthly payment. And so if we go in here, this is almost good enough. We're almost 400. All right, so basically we're at a point where we kind of pay this off significantly, and then we got to look for the 15K mark, right? So 15K is probably around here, right? And then what are we doing now is after 37 months, is this completely paid off? So 18 plus 37, what is that? 18 plus 37, so let me just do a quick calculation. Equals 18 plus 37, that's 55. So is there a month 55 here, or is it completely paid off? It's pretty much completely paid off at this point, just a couple more payments. But you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and kill it? So I know kill is kind of like a harsh word, but it's just right there, and I just want to free up that cash flow. So I'm just excited to do that. And then, so let's go ahead and do that. And then now this is plus this, right? And now what's our new cash flow? It's not 1,900 because this is paid off. Our new cash flow is 2,300, right? So 2,300. Okay. So now this is minus 2,300. Isn't that crazy? Minus 2,300. Okay, and we got to just kind of do that for the rest of what we ever got here. Okay. And so now what we could do is just say, okay, in 38 months, because most of the loan was kind of paid off, we paid off 15K more, so that would be 7K, right? So again, because the loan was in such a we made so much progress in the loan when we started Velocity Banking. So originally this was a Let me take a look here. 20 grand loan. We paid off 5K already, and then since we didn't tackle on the loan until we paid off all the credit cards, this loan was almost close to finished, right? So not a big deal. But 70K 30 in 38 months, not bad, right? Actually, how much is 38 months? Let me just check. So 38 divided by 12. That's about 3 years. Okay, not bad. 3 years for 70K. All right, so now let's tackle on the mortgage. So $200,000 at 6%. So $200,000 at 30 years at 6%. And if you don't know anything about a mortgage, a 6% mortgage, if you borrow $200,000, you actually pay more in interest than the loan itself. So it's like almost 112% loan. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy, right? So that's why we got to pay the sucker off so we can minimize the interest. But let's go ahead and figure out where we're at 37 months. Okay? So 37, no, not, well, 38 months. 38 months. And how much principal we pay off? Ooh, look at that. We only paid off 9K of the principal. 9K. All right. So this is why every bank or in every downtown, banks have the biggest buildings in every major downtown in America, just because they got the average American. I feel like I'm in a George Carlin bit right now. Is suckered the right word? I don't even know. All right, so now let's go ahead, and the whole idea at this point is that when you have your final, loans that you're paying off at a lower interest rate, um, it's more about making sure that you prevent segregation of income and you're able to pay off quickly and maintain control of your money. So one of the ways that you can kind of just do that is just transfer chunks. I forgot there was another word that I heard recently, not chunking, but incremental payments to the loans. I think that was the right word. Incremental payments. And then, so for example, 191 minus 5,000, that's 186. So let's take a look here at the amortization calculator, how long it takes to get to 186, right? So we got almost like a year and a half. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then all the way up to here, about almost a year and a half it takes to get to 186. But why don't we do this, right? So we just go to chip off uh, uh, a month's worth of income and transfer into a line of credit. That'll be 186K, right? And then now, so we're going to transfer. Where is this 99? Let me delete it. We're going to transfer, okay, 5K here. So plus 5,000, right? 1, 2, and then look at this. It took us 2 months just to pay off that $5,000 of principal of that mortgage, right? Whereas if you just went to the bank schedule and did it, right? You did it to the bank schedule, it would have taken you like a year and a half, right? Isn't that crazy? A year and a half. So, so again, I actually have a velocity banking calculator cheat sheet for this, and I show this calculator off all the time. I'm a Renatus student, and I actually learned about velocity banking from Renatus and actually sell their products as a they call it an independent contract marketer. So if you ever enroll in these Renatus courses, you actually have access to the calculator as well. So let me just take a look here. So we could just actually just manually put this in and do a cheat sheet. So let me just do this. So if you want to figure out how much it pays off, we have the current balance, the original balance, the interest rate, the payment amount, and then we just have to do chunk amount as the income, right? So just move chunks of it into the line of credit, from the mortgage to the line of credit. And what's the interest rate? The interest rate is 10%, right? That's what HELOCs usually go for. Your monthly income is 5,000, right? Let's take a look at our expenses. Our expenses is everything except the loan you're trying to pay off. So in this case, it would be the 1,500. So we just put 1,500 right here, right? Okay, now let's take a look. How long did it take us? Ooh, 5.4 years. That's not bad, right? 5.4 years. And take a look at this. So take a look at the interest that we saved. We're going to pay like, um, 194,000, but we didn't really pay that. We only paid 33. So let's just go here. 5.4 years, all right? So 5.4 years, all right? And then let's just do this. What's the milestone here? So let's 38 months. Let me just do this. Equals 38 divided by 12. So 3.1 plus 5.4. So that's we'll just say 8.5 years. So 8.5 years. And now we got to add that mortgage, 270K. All right. 270K, right? Yeah, because we had the 200. So now, basically, we're debt free in 8.5 years. We got to do a party. Party. I don't know how to do party drawings. Oh, can we draw in Excel? That's pretty sweet. Let's just do this. Party, right? Debt free. I'm pretty bad at drawing online. But yeah, so I don't know about you. You know anybody who's mortgage free and debt free after 8.5 years? Because I certainly don't. But anyways, all right. So that's it for today for Korean Atlanta Mentorship. If you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below. Other than that, have a great day, and we'll speak next time.